Hello guys, how's it going? Santiago here. I'm back with another tutorial. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use one of my most favorite softwares on the internet. It is called Notion. I use Notion a lot. For those of you that don't know, Notion is an all-in-one workspace where you can create and manage projects. You can also create lists, tables, to do blocks, and organize all this data for you to use in a better way. I'm gonna make myself disappear so I can show you better the software. We have Notion right here. This is the homepage. I've already logged in. It says good morning, Santiago. Thank you very much, Notion. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a new page. To do that, we just go to the left part right here. We click on this icon that says create a new page. For this tutorial, I'm going to be creating a page that lets me track and manage my weekly expenses in a better manner. Right here, we got the heading. I'm just going to name it weekly expenses. And that is going to be your heading. If you click down here, this is the body of the page. As you can see, if you just press space, Notion is going to suggest some different actions for us to carry out. You can make a table, you can make a flow chart, you can draft an outline, for example. I'm just going to write here a little description, like this page is for me to track, manage, and better understand my weekly expenses. That's it. If we go down here, we got the same options once again. I'm gonna press space and you can ask the AI anything that you want to create within this page. Now I want to create a list for the biggest expenses that I do on the week. So I'm just gonna press space again and I want to make a list. So I'm just gonna write make a list of weekly expenses. And Notion's AI is going to create a list that it thinks I can use. I can click accept if I think that the list that it produced is accurate. I can click discard if I don't want to use it. Or I can try again for the AI to give me another options for the list. I think I'm going to use this one. So I'm just going to click on keep. And you can completely change what the list throws at us. For example, change this heading right here, what I do for food throughout the week. Sometimes during the week I cook. I'm gonna make a rough estimate of, let's say, $6 a day. So that would be $42 a week. Sometimes I order takein, so I'm gonna include it here. And on average, takein is about $15 a week and I do it once a week. So I'm just gonna write 15 USD. I don't like that this part is in bold, so I'm just gonna remove that. And let's just say that once a week I like to take my girlfriend to a fancy restaurant, so I'm gonna write fancy restaurant. And let's say the fancy restaurant costs about 50 USD. This is our first list on what I use money for during the week. I'm gonna make another list that says transportation. Let's say I use my car twice a week. So taking into account gas and where I leave my car, let's say I expend 20 USD a week. I also use my bike a lot. One would think that using the bike is completely free, but here in Bogota where I live, you need to pay if you want to leave your bike somewhere, but it's really, really cheap. So let's say I use it 5 times a week and I use like $1 every time. So let's just write 5 USD. And the last one could be public transportation. Each time you use public transport here in Bogota is like $1, $1.50. And let's say I use it twice a week. So that would be 3 USD. I'm just gonna write another one that is really specific to my case, and that is my cats. I have 3 cats, so I need to track the expenses that my cats require. So let's just write food. The bag that lasts them a month is like $40, so that's 10 a week. And also the cat litter. It's 3 of them, so they use quite a lot. The biggest bag that I buy, it lasts for 2 months and is $60. That would be $30 a month. More or less like $6 a week, let's say. Or let's make it 7, so it's a bit more accurate. And voila, we have our first list of what we expend money on a weekly basis. Another thing that you can do in Notion is to create to-do blocks in order for you to track your activities better. I'm gonna create some to-do blocks in order for me to see what I can do to. So I'm just gonna press the space once again, and I'm gonna write to-do block to save money weekly. And let's just see what the AI throws at us. This is what Notion is suggesting us to do. I'm gonna click accept and I'm gonna check if these blocks apply to my specific situation. Let's see. Cook more meals at home instead of eating out. Not really, because I tend to cook every day at home. So one of the things I would like to spend less money on is making small purchases at the store and making like a bigger grocery trip. So stop spending in little trips to the grocery store and make a bigger purchase. That would be one of them. The second one says use public transport or bike more frequently than car. I think I can leave that one in, but as I was telling you, I use my bike like every day. The third one I really like because it already saw what I wrote in the previous list, and it says buy cat supplies in bulk when on sale. I really like that one. I'm gonna leave it there. The next one is really accurate as well. Track all expenses in this page weekly, because I don't usually do that. So creating a weekly expense is really accurate for me. I'm gonna leave it as well. You can move some of these up and down if you want to give them more importance to one or another. I'm gonna add one right here that says unplug unused appliances, because some of them are never used and I leave them plugged. I'm just gonna delete these two last ones, and I'm gonna leave this one that is really accurate for me as well, because I have a lot of subscriptions that I don't really use. And for the last part of the tutorial, I'm gonna be teaching you how to create a table. So I'm just gonna press space once again, and I'm gonna write create a table for improvement on my weekly expenses. And let's see what Notion has to offer for us. He's gonna create a table, very well organized, as you can see right here. He added another list, so I'm gonna delete that one. For this list, we're gonna check what Notion says for us to do. It added some categories: food, transportation, and cats, the ones that I added on the top. This is really cool because Notion already added the total values of the money that we input on the first list. So for food, we're spending a total of $107 a week if we add these three values right here. For transportation, we're spending $28, and for the cats, we're spending $17. And this is the total, $152 a week. Notion also proposes a target spending for me to lower a bit the weekly expenses, and it also provided us with a potential savings that is really cool as well. And just like that, in under 10 minutes, we have our weekly expenses page. You can interact with the page. For example, you can click in the to-do blocks if you already stopped spending in little trips, for example, and you can unclick them as well. As I showed you earlier, you can also drag any of these elements to any part of the page that you want, and you can also click right here in order to edit the table or the list or the text that you've already applied. Or you can also ask the AI to make further adjustments. And that's it, guys. This is our weekly expenses page. As you saw, we did it in under 10 minutes. I really like Notion because it lets you organize and better handle many of the aspects of your life. Expenses is just one of the examples that I gave you in this tutorial. I really invite you to check this software out. Let me know in the comments if you already tried it, how you use it, and you can check all of the affiliate links in the description down below. Once again, my name is Santiago. Hope this tutorial helped you, and see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.